All right, this is Cope again from Southwest Shooting Authority, or Desert Scout 1 if you're on gab.com, which you ought to be. And this video is going to be a little different than some of the ones we've done before. You know, Arizona is a beautiful place. I love it up here. But we are forced to move here out of this house. And long story behind that. But anyway, about 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I buried a couple of guns in here to, everybody thinks you bury guns to keep the feds from getting them and all that. You know, there's some merit to that. But, the other thing is, what if your house burns down? You have to run out in your skivvies in the middle of the night. I want to be able to arm and clothe my family, as quickly as I can. There's a lot of reasons you might do that. You don't have to bury all your guns. I say if it's time to bury them, it's time to use them. Okay, I'm good with that. But just to put a couple away in a safe place, not too far from the house, is not a bad idea, I think. But anyway, like I said, these have been here 7 or 8 years, so I wanted to dig this up on video and show you guys what it looks like. This is actually you can't really see it in the video, but there's a drainage ditch here, and I don't know what it's for. It takes the water off of this mountain right here and takes it down the hill. I don't know why it's here, but anyway, I buried it right in the bottom of this ditch. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it in the video. Let me turn this just a little tiny bit here. You can kind of see these ditches right here. Those weren't there not too long ago. This last monsoon rains we had brought a lot of water down here. It was amazing. So anyway, there's an additional 6 inches of gravel and dirt on here that wasn't here when I put the gun here. With any luck, we'll find a Mossberg 590 in here and some other accessories and goodies here. So let's get to it. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit. You won't see me as well, but I want you to be able to see where I'm digging, if at all possible. Yeah, we're going to be digging about right there, so you can see that. I think we're going to get down here and make sure I'm in the right place. After we get, when we get this one, we'll jump in the truck and run down the road here a little ways, and I've got another one I need to move. And then we'll take them to the house, get the tubes cleaned up, and open them up and see how they fared. You can kind of see how damp this dirt is here. So these have not been in a temperature controlled environment here, all nice and dry for 8 years. Throw all that dirt uphill. Next time we have monsoons, maybe it'll wash it back in the hole. Move just a little bit here. I'll probably, in the interest of time and a shorter video, I'll probably delete some of the actual digging here just to make it shorter. But I'll have it available for anybody that doesn't believe me and wants to see it. think it was that deep. See what that is. There it is. All right. About time. Right at the end of it. It's good. That means it goes back this way where we got some of it dug up already. There we go. This is the second time I've done this. Last time was for about 5 years, 5 or 6 years. 6 years, I think it was. So that bag's still, other than where I tore it up with the shovel, that bag's still usable. I'll put it right here, in 10,000 years from now, they'll dig that up and say, you know what? I bet you some redneck prepper buried a shotgun there back in the 21st century. All right. Well, I wish I still drank beer because I'd be ready for one right now. But as it is, I think what we'll do is jump in the truck and go back to the house, get me a nice cold Diet Dr. Pepper, and then we'll open these things up and see what they look like. Stay with me. Okay, right about here ought to be another little treasure. Get some of this stuff out of the way here. Might be it right there. Yep, that's it. Okay. All right, well let's throw this in the truck. We'll run back to the house. Check it out. All right, had to run back to the house and get a cold Diet Dr. Pepper. And you know, as I changed hats, that was one of my good ones I was wearing, and I got it soaked with sweat, so got one of my other ones. So we're gonna crack these things open and see what they look like. It's been about 8 years, I think, since they've been in there. And I know the questions are going to come up. How come they weren't deeper than that? Well, it's a couple of reasons. There's no use putting them too deep, because if you're worried about somebody finding them with modern metal detectors or something the size of a .590 shotgun or a AK-47 or whatever you decide to put in there, these modern metal detectors will get pretty dang deep. So there's no use making it harder on yourself. You can see how hard it was, you know, how long it took to dig them up and everything there in an emergency. And the emergency may be anything, like I said earlier, is anything from your house burning down to, you know, coming home. Some of you don't wear guns all the time, don't have them with you all the time. You should. I admonish you to think about doing that. But if you don't, and you come home and you find something wrong, you have the opportunity to run out here, you know, 100 yards or 500 yards or whatever it is from your house and get something to protect yourself or to take control of things if you have to. So anyway, and the other thing is, if you have to dig it up in the winter and you're in certain areas, not only do you have snow to deal with, you have frozen ground to deal with. And I don't know if any of you have ever worked with frozen ground, but I'll tell you what, concrete ain't got nothing on damp soil that's been below zero for a while. So, you know, 6 inches deep in many cases is plenty, as long as you put it where the water won't wash it away, you know, wash the top away and expose it. But other than that, you only have to be yay deep to. Now, I don't know how much trouble we're going to have getting this thing off here. I should have thought about that. It's all, let's see here. Let's use this thing, maybe I can keep from getting too dirty. Well, that ain't gonna work. I don't know if this is strong enough to give me any leverage on here or not. I may have to do something dramatic here. All right, let's see here. I hadn't thought about this part here. Biggest thing is we're going to town here in a little while, and I don't want to get all wrapped around this thing and get covered up with mud before I go to town. So that's why I'm trying to avoid that right now. Let's see here. All right, I don't know if you can tell from there, but I've stuck the end of it in the trailer hitch right here. Got it up in the tongue of the trailer. Hoping that'll give me enough. Oh, shit. All right, there we go. All right, let's take it back over here. See what we got. Okay, when I put these things in here, I don't just put the gun in there depending on what the emergency may be. But first thing, there's some earplugs there. There's a Israeli bandage, gloves, compressed gauze. There is a sling. There is some batteries for a Surefire, some 123 batteries, cigarette lighter, flashlight, knife sharpener, pin. I got those out. I'll use those batteries and replace it with new ones before I put it away again. There's one of my favorite old knives. I haven't had that out for a long time. Razor sharp and ready to go. So the idea here is that in the event that socks, always good to have socks.
It's like opening a time capsule.
It kind of is. I mean, 8 years have been there ever since we've lived here. Okay, there's some double-aught buck. There's a long-sleeve camouflage shirt. If I come home in a white shirt and a tie and I need to be a little bit more discreet, well, that'll help. Yeah, I've got some bird shot and some, let's see, these are, no, this is all double-aught in here. We got 4 double-aughts and a couple of slugs. They're ready to go, but the gun is in pristine condition, no problem. So that's good. What else I got in here? A couple more boxes of double-aught there. Okay, well, let's open up the other one and see what we got in there. I know what's in there. There's a chopped Glock 22, chopped to a 23 grip or 19 grip, and there's a 9mm conversion barrel in there with it, some 9mm ammo, I think some 40 ammo, and I'm sure some first aid stuff and a knife, I don't remember. See, I didn't expect the bag to keep moisture out of there, as I told you. I just wanted to keep dirt out of the latches and stuff. We'll find out how good this Pelican box is here. Is wet, which doesn't surprise me any. Okay, somebody get out the bugle and play taps. No, everything looks fine, looks perfect in there. We have an emergency blanket, compass, pin, socks, matches, cleaning rags and oil, ram oil, wound seal, bandage, chapstick, 123 battery, adhesive tape, more socks, knife. I think this one's just like my other one. No, this one's a buck, but it's similar. I'll guarantee you, if I didn't like this little goatee here anymore, if I wanted to get rid of my beard, that'd do it. That is sharp as you can get them. And I wondered where that one went. I had 2 of these. There's a belt. This one doesn't have the hard buckle, but it's another belt like this. earplugs. For those of you who don't know, this is the 30 millimeter ammo box here, 30 millimeter cannon ammo. Cleaning rod, happy stick, another magazine, box 9 millimeters. There's the that's the original. Oh, that's the 40 caliber barrel, and there's a 40 caliber extractor taped to it here if I need to change them. .511 shirt. Boonie hat. Blade Tech holster. Got the 9 millimeter barrel in it right now. This is a, you know, I thought this was chopped. It's not. It's still a full length. So that's a full length 22. That's unfortunate. I guess I'm going to have to chop it because I was wanting to chop the full length barrel chopped for everyday carry. So it looks like I'm going to have to chop this one. I'm going to bring this one up here. Can you see that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up here and show that there's no damage to it. Everything works. Okay, there you have it. There's our tutorial for the day. You know, there's one more thing I want to add to this, though. These 30 millimeter cans, I was thinking, you know, I do have another one buried somewhere. You told me I had 3 a while ago? Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. I dug that one up because that Pelican case is in the bedroom. So I thought I had another one. I don't. But anyway, those 30 millimeter cans obviously work good. Make sure your rubber seal is good around the lid. And everything, there's some paper towels in there. Just little stuff that I might be able to use. These things you can get at the surplus store. They're a whole lot more expensive now than they are when I got this one. And I put a little bit of lanolin around the threads right there so it would open up easier. And there's, what is that down the bottom? Something didn't come out there. Oh, that's just a t-shirt. I just put something there for padding, put that gun barrel against. Shut that down for a minute. I'm going to run in. You that may want to do this, do it yourself type thing. You can go down and get 8-inch sewer pipe. You can use water pipe, but it's more expensive. It's very heavy, and it's it's unnecessarily heavy and expensive. This is sewer. It's what they used to call SDR 35. I'm not sure what it is nowadays, but it's quite a bit thinner. But you know, we do when we lay sewer lines and stuff, we test them with air, so air will go where water won't. So these things, I've buried guns in these before. I actually buried one in New Mexico one time in a place where there was literally standing water for about 4 months out of the year. And actually, it was this. I think it was this tube. And but you got to do it right. If you're gonna do this, get 8-inch by 8-inch pipe. Will take a scoped rifle. It'll take an SK. It'll take something with a hand grip like a AK-47 or something like that, very comfortably. And there's lots of room in there for ammo and clothing and first aid supplies and whatever else you want to put in there. So the bottom one on this one, well, on this one it's the same as this. It's a gasketed cap. You can put a glue cap on one end. You can put one on both ends, but you're going to play hell getting that other one off when the time comes, because this stuff don't break easy. You're not just going to take a hammer and bust it off there really. So you get a gasketed cap. You can see this. Can you see that pretty good? See the heavy gasket in here? And then on the top of this, Can you tell in the video where this is beveled a little bit? Can you see that? Down about 3/4 of an inch. You want to make it almost sharp on the inside. It doesn't have to be razor sharp, but you want to get down at over halfway and come down about probably 5/8 of an inch or so. And you want that smooth bevel all the way around. That's the way your factory pipe comes, but you're probably not going to be fortunate enough to find one, so you'll have to do this yourself. Cut it off to the length you want, and then take a rasp or a grinder. If you're going to use a grinder, be careful because it's easy to get too much and get too far in here. And make sure this is smooth. If you use a rasp, you're going to leave little grooves in there from that heavy rasp. So then turn the rasp around or get a file and knock those grooves out, because this needs to be smooth so it doesn't cut that rubber on that lid. Does that make sense to you? So make sure that's good and smooth. And then when I put this one in the ground, I bury it with a little bag of, this is actually, you can use any kind of soap or lanolin or lotion or shampoo. It doesn't make any difference. Just something that's pretty slickery. And this is actually the soap that comes with this type of pipe when you buy large quantities of it. I put that in there so if I need to open this up in an emergency and then reseal it, you're going to take this soap and go all around the outside right here, especially on this bevel. And then while your hand's wet with that stuff, just wipe the inside of this, set it on here, get it good and straight, and then haul off and either hit it like with your hand or you can put like a 2x4 across it and hit it with a sledgehammer or whatever. It doesn't take a whole lot, but and then seal that. And then there's one more thing. I forgot to dump this out of here. All right, you know what that is? Probably not. You can't see it. It's a sock. Well, inside here is kitty litter, unscented kitty litter. You want to put that on a cookie sheet and put it in the oven about 250, 300 degrees for 20 minutes. When you're all ready to seal this, and then just put it in. You don't have to go spend a bunch of money on desiccants and all that crap that they tell you have to buy. That's a bunch of malarkey. And just drop it in there and seal it up. Now, I'll tell you something else while we're on the subject here. You absolutely do not only do you not have to, you don't want to put cosmoline and a bunch of crap all over your gun when you seal it in here. Just make sure it's good and clean and properly lubricated, as it would be if you were putting it up for the season after duck season or whatever the case may be. Do not under any circumstances put all that crap on there. It's hard to get off. It's hard to handle when you need it in an emergency, and it is absolutely 100% totally unnecessary. People that tell you that haven't actually done any of this stuff. They just read books or whatever, listen to their buddies or whatever the case is. But don't do that. If this is sealed up, you've got guns that stand in the corner in the closet for sometimes years on end that you don't use, and you haven't got them coated in cosmoline. So if this is a sealed tube and you put it in there in a dry, as dry an environment as you can, and then put a desiccant of some kind in there, put that kitty litter in there, you don't need to overly lubricate that gun. Just lube it like you would, like you were going to. So you don't want to have, in an emergency, you don't want to have to take it out and wind up having to clean it or having it not work properly or spray oil back on your glasses or whatever the case is. Just coat it like you normally do and put it away. It's all it takes. I can't think of anything else that I need to share with you here. And once all these are properly replanted and put somewhere, we'll post this video and let everybody take a look at it. Thanks for joining me now.